Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into Sims Workshop. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Okay, so today we're going to be reviewing Hera by Jennifer Saint. Once again, huge thank you to Flatiron Publishers for sending me a final proof of this book. It was amazing. I love Jennifer Saint's writing style. I love how she writes, but I still haven't come across a book of hers that I loved as much as Ariadne. Now I finally have. It's like a competition between Hera and Ariadne. I cannot tell you which one I love more. Sometimes I want to say, yeah, I love Hera more, and other times I want to say, no, I love Ariadne more. Hera was just so expertly written. I mean, obviously, as with the previous books in the series, it does deal with Greek mythology. So now we are getting Hera, the all-powerful queen of the gods. If you watched Hercules' Legendary Journeys, you are familiar with that phrase. Now we're learning her story, right? A lot of Greek myths always paint her as the petty, vengeful wife of Zeus, because he's a philanderer. He's always cheating on Hera, who is not just the queen of the gods, but also the goddess of marriage, right? So that's kind of like a slap in the face to her. He's a dick. He is a dick. You get to see who Hera was before she became Zeus's wife. And then you get to see why she chose to be his wife. And you feel bad for her because she's kind of... She was stripped of her identity. She was stripped of her agency. And it's such a powerful scene because it really does make you think about Hera and why she does the things that she does. Not that a lot of her behaviors were okay. And mind you, her sons do call her out on it. She does try to defend herself, counter arguments and this and that. But you're really understanding Hera as a person. You empathize with her. Even if you don't always agree with it, you understand why she does the things that she does, why she takes vengeance on the women. And a lot of it doesn't have to do with her being jealous. It's more so that Zeus doesn't win, He continues to humiliate her. He humiliates her and then he just struts his progeny around Olympus, and then he gives the children that he has with other women thrones on Olympus, versus giving the children he has with Hera, his wife, thrones. And he just kind of treats their children outside of Ares and Hephaestus. He treats their other children kind of like they're cast-offs, and he gives more consideration to Athena and Artemis and Apollo and Hercules, He gives them more consideration. So it's an even more of a slap in the face. So you're really getting into the core of who Hera is and why she does the things that she does. And then you're understanding her. And I love Jennifer Saint's storytelling, I love her prose. I love how when I'm reading it, I feel like I'm reading something out of, and I've said this before, I feel like I'm reading something out of Edith Hamilton's mythology, because it goes through time. You're seeing the time, you're seeing how Hera grows and trains and how she tries to take back agency outside of this marriage because she hates Zeus. She's not in love with him, not at all. She kind of got stuck in this position because Her agency was stripped away from her. She's stuck in this marriage. She knows she has some power over him, so she in some ways does manipulate him to kind of get what she wants. But for the most part, she is stuck in a very loveless marriage with a man who is obsessed with possessing her. You know, he is obsessed with possessing her, and she doesn't want to be possessed. She wants her agency back. She wants to go back to being that warrior woman who killed titans. You know, she wants to... Oh, did you see Blood of Zeus? Yeah, there we go. That's the kind of vibes that we got here. So she's more than just a petty, jealous wife. I mean, she hates Zeus. She just doesn't like being humiliated. And, you know, you feel for her because she's stuck in this marriage. She cannot... There is no divorce. But she's a goddess of marriage, so she has to uphold that virtue. So she is trapped, and oh God, it makes you angry when you're reading it, and you just want her to succeed every single time she tries to one-up him or destroy him. And when her plans are foiled, you're just like, you poor girl, until you get to the end and you know Zeus really gets his, and it's great. It's great. But you're also seeing how they go from being gods and self-sufficient to being reliant on mortals and their praise and their offerings and their prayers. And you're seeing how that changes the dynamic between the gods, and you're seeing how it changes the world as a whole. So that's why I say it really is reminiscent of Edith Hamilton's mythology, because you're going through the course of it. You know, the pantheon, when they come together, when they split up, when they leave Olympus, you're seeing them evolve. You're seeing Hera evolve, and it's really quite a journey to go on. And I think another reason why I love this one so much is, much like with Atalanta, there's only one perspective here. Ariadne did have two perspectives. You know, Electra had three, but this one focuses just on Hera and building her character and making her relatable to the reader and inspiring empathy. You know, through the story, she is regaining her agency, and I really think that that's very powerful. And it's such a good book. It really is. I absolutely loved it. I loved it so much. Yeah, definitely a 5-star read for me. That's why I can't. I can't decide if I love Ariadne more, or if I love Hera more. I think a part of me loves Hera a little bit more, but I love the storytelling. I love the prose. I love how Jennifer Saint weaves Greek mythology and is able to retell a story through a feminist scope, while also allowing these female characters that have kind of been warped through the ages through a masculine view. I'm not saying it's bad. I do love my Greek mythologies as they are, but it's nice to see a different perspective from them. It's nice to see a feminist perspective of them and see these women looked at through a different light, and I really appreciate that, and I really liked it. So yeah, 5 stars. It was phenomenal. On that note, thank you all for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your book loving friends. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.